In this video, we will compare conservative and non-conservative forces. By the end of the video, you should know when potential energy can be used and how friction changes mechanical energy. Let us begin with the first definition of a conservative force. A force is conservative when the work it does is independent of the path between the initial and final positions. Gravity is the key example here. Near Earth's surface, the work done by gravity is W sub g equals mg times h naught minus h final. Notice that this equation depends only on the initial height and final height. It does not depend on whether the object falls straight down, follows a curved path, or takes a longer route. If the object moves downward, gravity does positive work. If it moves upward, gravity does negative work. In both cases, only the change in height matters. A force is also conservative if it does zero net work around a closed path. A closed path means the object starts and ends at the same point. For gravity, if the starting and ending heights are the same, then h naught equals h sub f. So W sub g equals mg times h naught minus h sub f, which is 0. The roller coaster path may look complicated, but if it returns to the same height, the positive work done on the way down is balanced by the negative work done on the way up. So the two definitions agree. Conservative work is path independent, and the work over a closed path is 0. Now let us contrast gravity with kinetic friction. A non-conservative force is one where the work depends on the path. Kinetic friction is the main example in this lesson. Friction points opposite the direction of sliding motion because the angle between friction and displacement is 180 degrees. W equals F sub k d cosine 180 degrees or negative F sub kd. So kinetic friction always does negative work on a sliding object. It removes mechanical energy and converts it mostly into thermal energy. This is why we do not define a simple potential energy for kinetic friction. The work depends on how far the object slides, not only on the starting and ending points. Let us summarize the force categories before writing the energy equation. This table separates forces into conservative and non-conservative categories. Gravitational force and elastic spring force are conservative forces, so potential energy can be defined for them. The non-conservative forces listed include normal force, tension, friction, and air resistance. In many energy problems, friction and air resistance are the forces that remove mechanical energy. Now let us combine conservative and non-conservative work in the work energy theorem. In real situations, conservative and non-conservative forces can act at the same time. The total work can be written as W equals W sub C plus W sub NC, where W sub C is work done by conservative forces and W sub NC is work done by non-conservative forces. From the work energy theorem, total work equals the change in kinetic energy. So W equals Ke final minus Ke initial or delta Ke. For conservative forces, work is connected to potential energy. In the gravitational case, W sub c equals negative delta Pe. So this slide is setting up the energy equation that includes both changes in kinetic energy and changes in potential energy. Now we rearrange this into the form we will use for problem solving. Combining the previous relationships gives delta Ke equals negative delta PE plus W sub NC. Moving delta PE to the left gives the red box equation. Delta KE plus delta PE equals W sub NC. This means the change in mechanical energy equals the work done by non-conservative forces. If there is no non-conservative work, W sub NC is 0 and mechanical energy is conserved. If friction acts, W sub NC is negative and mechanical energy decreases. Now let us apply the equation to the baseball player sliding towards top. A 65 kilogram baseball player slides towards top. His initial speed is 6 meters per second and the friction force is 450 newtons. Part A asks for the stopping distance on level ground. Part B asks for the stopping distance while sliding uphill on a 5-degree incline. Slides to a stop means the final speed is 0. On level ground, delta PE is 0. On the incline, delta PE is positive because the player gains height. Before solving, predict the result. The uphill distance should be shorter because both friction and gravity help remove the initial kinetic energy. Let us first write down the given values. Mass is 65 kilograms, initial velocity is 6 meters per second, and the kinetic frictional force is 450 newtons. We use delta KE plus delta PE equals W sub NC. On level ground, delta PE equals 0. Since the player stops, delta KE equals 0 minus 1 half mv naught squared. Friction does negative work, so W sub NC is equals to negative frictional force Fk times d. And if we substitute these things in our energy equation, we get 0 minus half mv naught square plus 0 for the change in potential energy equals negative Fkd. And we can rearrange this, so we can multiply both sides by a negative sign and then divide by Fk. So we get mv naught square divided by 2 Fk equals d. Now we can substitute the values and find d. So d is equals to 65 kilograms multiplied with 6 meters per second squared divided by 2 times the frictional force 450 newtons, and this gives us 2.6 meters. Now let us solve part B where the player slides uphill. For the incline, we again use the work energy theorem. Delta KE plus delta PE equals W sub NC, the work done by non-conservative forces. The change in kinetic energy is K final minus K initial, and this is equals to, so the final kinetic energy is 0 and the initial kinetic energy is half m initial square, and the change in potential energy is final potential energy mgh minus initial potential energy, which is 0 if we select the ground level as 0 gravity level. H is equals to d sine 5 degrees, so we can write this equation as mgd sine per degrees. And the work done by the non-conservative force is again negative Fk times d, the work done by the kinetic frictional force. Now we can put this together in our work energy theorem equation. So we get delta Ke, which is negative half mv naught square, plus delta Pe, which is mgt sine per degrees, and that is equals to negative Fkd. Now we can rearrange this equation. So let's bring this part to the right hand side of the equation and bring this part to the left hand side of the equation. So we get mgd sine per degrees plus Fkd equals half mv naught square. And now we can factor out d, so we get mg sine per degrees plus Fk equals half mv naught square. So d is equals to mv naught square divided by 2 times mg sine per degrees plus Fk. And now we can substitute the values. So m is 65 kilograms times initial velocity is 6 meters per second. So that is squared divided by 2 times mass 65 kilograms multiplied with 9.8 meters per second square sine 5 plus frictional force is 450 newtons. And this is equals to 2.31 meters. This is shorter than 2.6 meters, which matches our prediction because gravity and friction both help stop the plane. The takeaway is that conservative forces are handled through potential energy, while non-conservative forces appear as the work done by the non-conservative force. That is why the work energy theorem is so useful.